Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we are going to be learning about building generational wealth. Now, this is one of my favorite subjects to teach because it's just a well known fact. For years, people in our community have not been taught how to build generational wealth or where to even begin if we wanted to build it. So, it's my pleasure to speak to you guys today about how to get started on building it for yourself and for your future. Now, the first thing you need to know is the definition of wealth. Now, the English term, they define it as the condition of being happy and prosperous. Now, what that means is being wealthy is first and foremost a mindset. Before it's a lifestyle or a car or anything else, it's a mindset. And that's what most people tend to get wealth confused with. They confuse it with monetary gain and think that wealth is something you're supposed to see, touch, and feel. That's not true. Wealth is a mindset. And then it reaches out, becomes your reality, and shifts things for your future if you build your foundation right. So, the first thing you need to do to start to accumulate some generational wealth is build your credit back up. I cannot stress this enough. Those high interest credit cards that you have, high interest loans, all of that plays a huge role in what your credit score is right now. And the two main things that lenders are going to be looking at is your debt to income ratio and your ability to pay your debt. So you have to understand credit is going to be your number one tool that you need to fix before anything else, because it's going to be your leverage for when you want to start to build your wealth and get invested into properties and other investments that you want to be involved in. So credit is the first place that you need to start above anything else. In my last video, I was discussing about the financial landmines and telling you about the different things that can ultimately be detrimental to you building wealth. One of them being is getting on the bad side of Mr. Interest can work in your favor. But if right now all you have is loans and credit card debt, interest is more than likely working against you. So take some time to get your debt under control, get your credit back right, and then take the next step, which is create a budget. Of course, this is common sense, but I know where some of y'all have been. So listen to me. If you an excess of money on food, no. Party way too often and spend way too much money on going out and having fun, which is still okay, but everything needs to be in moderation. Cut it out. You spend your money just as soon as you get it. That is very detrimental if you are just mindlessly spending your money, and everybody falls victim to it sometimes. You just get into this place where you're spending, and after a while you just get used to putting out money and not used to saving it. So you have to become aware of where your money is going, which is why it's extremely important to create a budget. Figure out where majority of your finances are. Are they going towards food? Are they going towards leisure? Are they going towards entertainment? Are they going towards groceries? You have to figure that out. And once you do, here's the good part. You get to create budget cuts. You are the CEO of your company. You are the CFO, you are the owner, you're the HR department. You are in control of your life. So you have to make the conscious decision and be disciplined enough to know when to be disciplined, when to cut back, when to make budget cuts. Because if you have a specific or desired goal, you got to be intentional about it. Now, I want to touch base and circle back around to the credit I was telling you about before. If you have a credit score of 600 or less, you do not need to be focusing right now on major purchases like a new home or a car payment or getting a new credit card. Things like that. If your credit score is under a 600, you really need to be focused on maintaining your debt. And primarily the reason why your credit score is low, it can be a number of different reasons, but majority of it is your debt to income ratio. So if your credit score is less than a 600, you really need to start there. That's why credit is my number one. But for real estate, the bare minimum you can have is a 640. So I usually tell my clients, start with a 680. Start with trying to build your credit to at least a 680 or higher, and then work your way up to major investments and properties and things like that. But you have to start with you first. Next is saving. Rule of thumb is you have to save about 10% of whatever it is that you're making a month. So once you have that 10%, you don't need to see it, touch it, feel it, hear it, know where it is. You need to, it's fleeting. Forget about it. You have to budget it in like a bill. The way to do that and stick to it is to enroll yourself into like an automatic draft, something that is automatically going to pull from your account and you don't even have to think twice about it. Because if you physically have to move it and do the act of saving, you're going to be tempted to spend. So figure out how you can get with your bank and set up an automatic draft for it to come out into another account and let it sit there. Another great tool that you can use is getting a financial advisor involved. Listen, I was raised in a household as well where you were taught to just save as much money as you can, tuck it away into a mattress if you have to. So I get it when you start to give me that little look, looking at me sideways, like, oh, she just want me to spend money. No, I want you to understand. Just because you're saving all that money and keeping it to yourself, you're actually harming yourself. Because if you have developed a selfish and clingy mindset revolving around your finances, you're manifesting that same type of energy to come out. So let's say you're an entrepreneur or a business owner. The same way that you're stingy with your money and think that you just got it all together, people like lenders or customers or clients, they're going to be the same way when it comes to giving you money. So it's counterproductive. Learn how to shift your perspective and your need for money onto a way for it to work in your favor. I always tell my clients, make your money work for you, not the other way around, or else you're always going to be working. Let's me back to my original statement. Get a professional opinion. There is no shame in sitting down with a financial advisor and having them show you where you're spending your money. If you feel like you don't have the time or don't have the resources or what have you, get a financial advisor who can sit down with you and dictate how much money you should be saving, put a plan in action. And I actually have complimentary financial advisors under my team as well who offer complimentary services to get you a plan started, take a look at your finances, and help you to put your money in a safer vehicle. Because I understand how it is, using all these investment apps and they're popping up like crazy, so I get it. But just mindlessly investing isn't exactly the right path to go down. There's a difference. If you want your money to work for you, I get it. But sitting down with a financial advisor, someone who can really show you a better way and that will provide you a safer return, a safer place for you to put your money, a more consistent rate of your return, and just a better opportunity for you to grow your finances in a different light. There are different routes. So there's no shame in asking for help. Like I said, I'll post the link below on where you can contact me and I'll help you get started and match you with the financial advisor that would best work for you. The first step to any of that is making sure that you are willing to accept the help. Okay? A closed mouth doesn't get fed. Taking the opportunity to shift all of the weight and the responsibility of building wealth off of you over to somebody else, it helps with your peace of mind. Trust me. Next is getting a whole life insurance policy. I cannot, oh my God, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse every time I talk about this conversation, but a whole life insurance policy is essential to building generational wealth. And I will say that because it does two things. One, it secures your legacy. So everything that's hard for to build and maintain, how you want to be remembered is just as important. What you leave behind is your legacy. So getting a life insurance policy protects your family and protects your legacy and what you want to leave behind. Second thing that it does is it secures your financial freedom. A whole life insurance policy starts to accumulate something called cash value. What that means is there's interest that's going to be added on top of the policy. The longer you keep it, the more that cash value is going to grow, which you can use to tap into at any point in time tax-free. If you're younger, you can use that money to tap into for a down payment on a home, a down payment on a car, anything of that nature. Or if you're older, you can use that money to tap into as a retirement income source. And again, all of this money is available to you tax-free. I need you to understand the difference between a whole life and a term policy. Whole life insurance is more concrete. It accumulates cash value, it lasts you your entire life, and it can also be used as an income source should you choose to tap into that cash value. But a term policy is something that is an option as well. It's usually the policies that they offer you at your job, or some policy you more than likely purchased years ago and just forgot about because the price was so low. But term is short for terminate. It usually matures at the age of 85, but they give you options to get life insurance in increments. So it can be a 10-year term policy or a 20-year. But after that year is up, it either cancels and matures, or they up the rate on you and try to get you to renew it for another 10 to 20 years. So term is good, yes, but it's just not a good investment. It's short for terminate, and you're just paying into something that you could potentially outlive. So whole life insurance is the way. You can put your money into a vehicle that's going to help you build interest and cash value, or just a safer vehicle. The quicker that you're going to start to see some gain, extremely important. You want to make sure that that's a part of your game plan. And lucky for you, I'm a life insurance advisor. I can also help you get set up with figuring out how much life insurance you need, because you don't need $1 million policy. Believe it or not, there's actually a science and a calculation that we use to figure out how much life insurance that you actually need. So to have someone sit down with you, I will be more than happy to get that started for you. That again would just be the email you would have to contact, and make sure that you incorporate that. And last but not least, you have to begin. This is the last pinpoint that I'm going to give you guys, but I want you to understand the hardest part to building generational wealth is not the actual building of the wealth. It's getting started. That's the hard part about it. Because listen, at first it can be a lot of information to take in. I get that. It's a lifestyle change. You have to figure out how you're going to adjust when it comes to your income. You have to figure out what route you want to take, where you want to start, how you're going to budget it in. And it can be pretty overwhelming at first, but all this is an adjustment. Like I said before, you're already spending your money. All you have to do now is adjust your qualifications on what you're spending your money on. So just get started. Sometimes all you have to do is reach out a hand and someone is willing to help you. So there's no shame in speaking with a financial advisor, and there's no shame in reaching out and getting someone like myself who can assist you with getting started. Because remember, closed mouths don't get fed. This is an opportunity for you to finally shift your mindset on doing something that's beneficial to you. So I look forward to speaking with you all next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.